All right, lock in. Guys, it's time. 9.5. What time is it right now? Have we released? Oh, I don't think it's out yet. Retro is probably in the midst of releasing uh my 9 or my season 9 season review right now. So hopefully this doesn't get too crazy because I think that this season has some major issues. Um, that said, though, as always, if you're enjoying the season, I am glad you're having fun. The way these typically go is it's basically just me yapping about characters for a little bit, how they feel about in the game, um, and I am subject to change their placing at will, and I'm also subject to changing it depending on how I'm feeling on what we're talking about. AKA, if a character's really good in pro play, I might put it higher. If the character's really good in low ranks, I might not put it higher, but I will talk about it when I cover it. Or if in my games it's been really strong or really weak, but I could see it being strong in other places, right? Whatever, etc., etc. First up, let's start with the man, the myth, the legend, the Captain America. Freedom is dead, boys. Freedom is dead. That guy might be the worst tank in the game right now. I think he actually might be the worst tank in the game. He's close for second. I'm probably going to put him here, though. But he is really bad. How did he fall so fast? Well, there was this big season called Season 9 where they basically juiced up every single person in the game. Cap, I think, got a health nerf during that. And then his trade-off was now he has the storm throws with Thor, but the regular ones are really not that great. The team-up enhanced version is actually pretty good, but then you have Thor Cap. And it's sad because so many of the characters in this game's base team-up is just as good as the enhanced. Cap is someone who really needs the enhanced one. And so it's just butt. Bucky team up way better though. Well, I think the Bucky team up is much better because you're going to actually get a Bucky in most of your games. And it makes him much more defensive. So like offensive dive Cap is just kind of gone. So you just use the Bucky one, and then you honestly get a Bucky almost every game. So it's really not that hard to have the enhanced version, which is actually still really good. Regardless though, just Cap isn't good, period. He's just fucking butt. You know? And there's a few characters that basically lost really hard when Season 9 dropped the everyone gets a team up and everyone is now broken season. Devil Dino. I think that Dino has made a bit of a comeback. I think Dino is a thing backup. So if your thing is banned or they have no guns on the enemy team, like let's say they're playing hard dive, like they're playing like Cat, Daredevil, Rogue, maybe they have their own thing. I guess you could play thing on yourself. But regardless, as long as they don't have any guns, like no Bucky, no Widow, no Hela, you could play Dino and kind of run things down. Like Dino actually goes crazy. But it's a very specific interaction, a very specific time where he's good. Other than that, he's pretty bad. So there's not really reason to pick him. And also, Poke is really strong. And he's got a big-ass fucking head. So, yeah. Venom. So Venom got some pretty big nerfs. He got the swing nerf, and he also got the E. Like his E gives less shield. If I'm honest with you, I haven't seen almost any Venom, but I don't think he's like dead and gone. I think he still can be played, and he still does his same loop of dive in, annoy their supports, bait out cooldowns, swing out. But then he just takes longer to do it now. He's more vulnerable. His time, like you can kill him easier. His whatever it's called, like his window of opportunity is smaller, and his window to kill him is much larger. So I see so much less Venom. Apparently, in pro play / like really high rank, he's still decent, but I haven't seen almost any. All right, this might be the hot take. I think Penny's actually still really good. I think the nerfs hurt her ability to deal with anti-dive. Like it's harder to like fully stop like a Black Cat or something like that. But in return, she puts up her webs so much faster, and it's actually pretty easy to just double web a tank if they're walking in. And on the maps, like for example, the New York map with like the drone scan, the vampire map with like the squirrel, I forget what it's called. All the maps where Penny was strong on before, she's still really strong. She's still really, 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 really good. Really good. I wouldn't be surprised if Penny has the highest win rate. Still. But we'll see. Guys, I said Cap was the worst tank in the game, or maybe second worst tank in the game. The reason why I said second is because pour one out for the lightning god himself. Thor is so butt right now. He's so bad. There is no reason to pick that guy. Every niche he had is gone. Hela team up is fucking bait. You are never, ever killing somebody. Unless it's by pure coincidence or luck with that team up. Your Hela is not getting a kill fast enough to close that window. You do not live long enough. If it was like the old one where if you died and then you got rezzed by your Hela getting a kill, I think it would have been fine. But you have to get the kill during the window of his death. A final kill, it ain't happening. You ain't getting that. You ain't getting rezzed. So you choose the Angela one. And the Angela one is definitely better. But like, then you're just playing dive Thor into their backline. And then you just get things slammed and you explode. That's it. They took him out back. R.I.P. Thor. Emma. I think Emma's insanely good. One of the better tanks of the season. Almost can pick her in most games. Pairs up really good with Mag if he wants to use the team up, although the Wanda one's just better. Just always solid. Good into the die that they're there. She does a lot of damage. Without it, I actually choose the Mantis team up more than anything. If you get the enhanced Mantis team up, it's disgusting. But just the regular Mantis is actually pretty damn good. Not much else to really say there. She's basically as strong as she used to be like in the back in the day, and then she actually technically is stronger now because now she has damage resistance during her ult. So, you know. What? Yeah, bro, yeah, when Thor dives, the entire back is screwed and the DPS take care. If the front has almost unkillable, or he's almost unkillable if he starts well and no one switches. You basically just said, yeah, if the team doesn't shoot him and nobody switches, he can do well. So the team sucks. So you're telling me, yeah, if the enemies just suck balls and don't play the game, then he's good. Wow. That's crazy. Never thought about it that way. That thing, yeah, still insane. Actually, fun fact, I've actually started to see people at the higher ranks start to choose the Fantastic team up over, or sorry, the Mr. Fantastic team up over the Torch team up. I think the Torch team up is still better, or at least more fun, but his survivability apparently is even better with the Fantastic one as opposed to the Torch one, because the Torch one, he has to keep punching the entire time, and it's the only way he stays alive is by feeding off of the other tanks. But with the... Oh, sorry, Invis. Sorry, it's Invis. Sorry, my bad. I keep saying Fantastic, but it's Invis. With the Invis one, his sustain is actually much better, and you actually get an Invis. It's much easier to get an Invis in a game than it is to get a Torch, and the Torch enhanced one's really not that great. But the enhanced Invis is actually pretty good. So I think it's take your pick. I think I like the Torch one better, but regardless. Hood. So Hood, when he came out, had the Twitter sphere and the Reddit sphere all clamoring that this guy sucks. This guy sucks. He's not good. He doesn't do any damage. And then every game I've seen of this guy, he is top fragging damage-wise. He can run triple tank, Hood, and he is damn fucking good. We actually just finished watching Spectating Rank 1 Hood. I learned a little bit from it. A lot of it, I mean, you'll probably want to watch it yourself, but like, you know, a lot of times you're just kind of poking tanks until you have an opportunity to TP backline and then looking for kills. as well as popping your Veil in between the front line and their back line, so it's easier to kill tanks and it's easier to isolate people. I think as time goes on, I think he'll even become stronger if he doesn't get any nerfs coming with Season 10, as people will learn how to play him more and more and figure out where he's good. But already, I would say he's pretty damn good and pretty damn strong. And also, part of this, I would say the reason why I think he's an S more than anything is Cloak and Dagger's also really good. And his team up with Cloak and Dagger makes her legitimately disgusting. So the fact that he already is a really good character and he enables one of the best team ups in the game, I think propels him up here. Okay. Rogue. Rogue's right down here with Cap. Arguably one of the worst tanks in the game. Even enhanced Gambit, which Gambit, by the way, is not getting permabanned every game. I've seen a lot of Gambit games now. Even with enhanced perma Gambit team up, she still just dies. She explodes. Without it, she's handless. I can't put her any higher than C. And I'm only not putting her in D because with enhanced, she's at least playable. Groot. You know what? I think Groot's also still really good this season. I think Groot was someone who I thought was actually like a lot weaker last season. With all the changes and he like being able to not be as good into Thing, where Thing was really strong. He didn't have his place. And I think with Gambit being back, honestly, it makes Groot even weaker. But I don't know what it is about this guy. He just never gives up. He's just always strong. You know what? I'm going to drop him down one. I'm going to say he's better than Penny, though, because he's more viable in most areas. But he's just always solid, you know, because people are banning. Well, I'll get there right now. People are banning Mag. Mag has been getting banned in a lot of ranked games. So when Mag's getting banned, Groot's a pretty good option for playing frontline, playing like that main tank, quote unquote, role. I'm not going to get into any debates about main tank, off tank. I think it kind of doesn't apply to this game, but I just mean like the more frontlining tank. And so, yeah, like Groot Emma like flows really well. Groot Thing a little bit less, but like Groot Emma's a big one. You're really good at isolating their tanks, really good at like big damage, because Groot does a lot of damage and also has a lot of survivability. Emma does a lot of damage and has really good survivability. So these two flow really well, especially if Mag is getting banned. Mag is just, it's, yeah, all right, I'll spoil it. Fuck it. I normally do it at the end, but I don't think it's any secret. Mag is still the best one in the game. And that's why I said he was getting banned consistently. So if you're wondering why Mag's best in the game, same thing as last season. Nothing's changed. Sword covers his one weakness, which was range. Maggle is very good for so many situations, especially Cloak and Dagger's getting played a lot more because of Hood team up. The enhanced Hood team up, so now you're killing Cloak and Daggers with that. Yeah, he's just crazy. There's nothing else to say there. Strange. I think Strange has fallen down the tiering rung. I don't think there's really a reason to play Strange other than to be a TP bot. Even against like teams where you want extra shielding, it's just really not worth it. He doesn't really bring much to the fight, doesn't bring much to the game at the moment. He doesn't have enough power to break through some stuff. And his sustain, although good, I think actually is more of a net negative to have on a team most of the time, because then you can't TP back. Unfortunately. Tank pool. Hot take, I'm throwing him right down here. I think Tank pool's not very good. I think Tank pool sucks this season. They stealth nerfed his range at some point. I don't know when that was, but they stealth nerfed his range. And ever since they did that, he just feels bad. I know you can still jump backline and ult somebody, but like looking at this top area, all of these have in common is either insane space control or insane sustain. And Tank pool doesn't really have that, you know? I'm not saying like he can't be played. That's why like, you know, like these guys can be played. He's not like quite down here. He just feels like ass. And I don't think there's a reason to even pick the guy. There just isn't a reason to pick the guy. Angela, I'm actually gonna put Angela up here in the A. Angela, I think is actually underrated as a dive tank right now. I think that she still has the survivability and speed that like Venom kind of had before with the engages. And so like if you need a dive tank, I think Angela's more of your go-to as opposed to Venom right now. And I think in ranked especially, like it's a lot easier to kind of pick off backlines right now, especially if people are running triple tank, 1 DPS, 2 support. Because your big option right now is Thing, and like Thing is really not that good into Angela. Angela's kind of good at avoiding him. You have to commit like your jump to kind of make it up to her, and she can still technically block it. So I actually kind of like Angela. I think she's actually pretty slept on. And then last but not least for the tank category, it's Hulk. I don't think Hulk's that good. I don't think he's bad though, but I don't think he's very good. I think he's pretty weak. I think I might put him here. But he's like low end of this, like low end B. I think most of the time you have to swap the Hulk. He's like not, because like look who's up here, Emma, Thing, and Mag, right? All these guys kind of do a lot to him. Mag less so, but Mag just does big damage to him realistically, and then can save whoever he's on with bubble. He just requires too much of a commitment, I would say. And so I honestly, I kind of want to put him in a C. Nah, but like, he's not as bad as Cap, you know? So either way, I think that Hulk is maybe like a specialist character. Like if you're really good at Hulk, you could probably make it work. But otherwise, I wouldn't be picking him in most games. All right, there's your tanks. On to DPS. For DPS, I'm going to save best in slot for last because I think it's a little bit more debatable. First up is Black Cat. Black Cat is a permaban right now in ranked, so easily has to be in the S tier because of that. I would say most of the dive characters are not that strong right now outside of Black Cat. One Black Cat can run your backline by herself, and it's fucking annoying. Let's just say the obvious. She's a cool character with a loaded kit, arguably an overloaded kit, who probably gonna sell a ridiculous amount of skins because she has got the fattest badoink in the entire game. And that character has a 20-meter long iframe dash that runs your pockets. What the fuck is that? Not only that, though, she has a normal dash. And also, that it doesn't even have like a cooldown. It has like a 2-second cooldown. It's money system based, to which then she can pop invis and go invisible. Characters that have invisibility in shooter games have to be very carefully balanced because they can break the game and become extremely hated characters. Example I look towards in Overwatch was Sombra. I don't think Black Cat's quite as bad as Sombra because Sombra also hacked you and turned your abilities off. But Black Cat, though, is really fucking annoying to deal with because you have to commit cooldowns. Like, let's say you're playing Thing, right? Like, you're trying to peel for your backline, and you see this Black Cat coming in, and you jump to your teammate and you shift him. Guess what? It wasn't the real dash. It was the iframe dash. She still has her regular dash. Well, now you lost your major tool to kill her, and she runs your backline for a few seconds and leaves. So she can bait your cooldowns out because you can't tell if it's the real dash or not. Kind of bullshit. On to the next dive character, BP. I think this guy got cooked. They took away his combo, and that's the only thing that guy can do, which is really bad against metal rank players. Because if you have a one-shot combo like that against metal rank players, they can't play the fucking game. And it's boring for them, and they don't enjoy it. I think it's now possibly time to talk about rework BP. It's probably time to rework him. And the reason why, even though he's a really fun and cool character, he is either useless or problematic. And if you watch any high-rank BP play, it's kind of boring for a long time because they basically sit there and do nothing until they have their moment where they get to kill somebody. And then when they get their moment, on the other side, it feels horrible to die. It feels unfun. It feels bad. Even though if you climb the ranks, people are better at dealing with him by basically spot checking him to know he's coming, you still have to also consider the other 95% of the player base that actually plays against the guy and is having zero fun. And I don't think it's unfair to say support players are in desperate need in this game. If I queue up a ranked game, I can't buy a support player for my fucking life anymore. And I'm always stuck filling because I'm the guy who's like, I'd rather win and play the game than ego and just pick what I want. And I bet that's not uncommon through most of the ranks where people don't want to play into that. And so he's either going to be perma shit or perma broken. Black Widow. I'd say Black Widow is still arguably in the S tier category. She didn't get any nerfs. Same as last season. Season 9.0. We're only 9.5. Still super strong. Really good duelist. Really good taking flanks. Not as good, obviously, versus the dive. But nothing's changed. So I'm going to leave her right where she was. Blade. Hot take. Blade was kind of coming up the ladder in 8.5. I think he's right back down in the shitter. I don't know if other people were seeing something I'm not seeing, but I feel like, 8.5, he was really coming up in the world, and I think he's right back in the bucket. He's right back in the poo bucket. Don't know what it is. But he was kind of on the way up, and then I think they just kind of cooked him. I think the real thing is power creep. Power creep kind of caught up with him because like he was getting power crept slowly to where everyone else was, and then everyone else went up to the moon, and now it's like, well, shit. Cyclops. I'm doing it again. Fuck you. I'm doing it again. I was right before, and I'm still right now. Cyclops sucks. Stop playing that guy. What's up, Chloe? I'm sorry. Okay? Last season, I got 4 or 5 angry TikTokers on my butthole talking about, oh my god, streamer, why are you talking about this Cyclops guy like he's mad? I got 70 kills in my ranked game. Okay, cool. Character still sucks. They buffed him a little bit. That made him slightly better. I think he's still bad. The reason why he's still bad is because there's 4 other characters do the exact same thing he does. So if you just took out back Widow, Hela, Phoenix, Elsa, and shot them all in the head and they all died, he might shoot up the ladder to like a B tier. But because there's 4 people who do things better than he does, he's awful. You know what I mean? He's awful. DD. People still be banning DD. What in the shit is happening? Why are we banning that guy? I don't think he's bad by any means, but why the fuck are we banning this guy? I think he's probably second best dive character right now. Hey, let me look at the rest of the roster. Hold on. He's probably still second best dive character in the roster right now, but I don't think he needs to be getting banned. I think it's straight up PTSD at this point. Yeah, he feels low-key balanced, and I think the reason why Daredevil feels low-key balanced is because look who's strong. It's the big man thing and Emma. Big man thing, Emma, and Penny all strong. You know? All strong makes him much easier to deal with. One swap can kind of really shut him down a bit. DPS pool. I think DPS pool is probably the best Deadpool right now. The problem though with DPS pool is the same thing as tank pool in a way, and the same thing with support pool in a way. Actually, no, not true with support pool, but mostly for tank pool, is it takes him a while to get going. And once DPS pool gets going, he can be good, but he's so butt in the beginning that it's like kind of advantageous to start on tank pool, get a couple upgrades going, and then switch to DPS pool. But that's just a lot of work to get something going for like the second half of the game, if you even get there. You know? Good character though, but just takes too long to get going right now. Next up is Elsa. Elsa is again easily S tier. Elsa didn't really get many changes. I don't think she actually got. I think she got changed to her trap. That was it. And her trap was good versus dive, but that wasn't like yes, shutting down dive was very helpful for Elsa, but that wasn't what was running the lobbies. What was running the lobbies is she just out damages everybody, and then everyone groups up for their support ults, and then she fucking eats them all with her ult. You know, and it's just GR. So it is what it is. Wait, what? Oh. Yeah, that guy's trolling. The YouTube side. Don't go angry. The guy who was talking about Blade OP because they dropped 50 kills in Plat one time, that guy's trolling. He's just joking. It's fine. Okay. Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye is still pretty bad. So, like, Hawkeye with the team up, the Psylocke team up, like, everyone was like, oh my god, this guy's going to break the game. I feel like that didn't really happen. You know what? I might even throw him down here. Hold on, I gotta make the F tier. We're bringing back the F tier. We haven't needed an F tier in a while, but we're bringing it back. The only thing this guy is really good at is just one-shotting you with either his ult or headshot. And it's like borderline impossible to do that one right now. And so you have the Psylocke team-up version, which is supposed to do crazy damage. But it just doesn't work in practice. It works in theory. It doesn't work in practice. Sorry, just the truth. Hela. I think Hela's pretty damn good right now. I don't know if I'd say Hela's S tier. I think Hela's the top of A tier. Like the top. Unfortunately, this S tier crowd, I think, is slightly above. I think it's basically Elsa, Widow, Hela. Elsa, Widow, Hela is like the hit scan roles, right? But damn good still. It's damn good. Torch. I think Torch is much better, but Poke is hard meta. So because Poke is hard meta, he's not great to play in most places, but I actually think he's pretty strong. I just think that because Widow, Elsa, Hela are all strong, he doesn't get picked very often. So, like, I think he probably deserves to be here, but I think because of where the meta's at, I think he deserves to be here, but I think where the meta's at, he's supposed to be here. But I actually think he's, like, if you load into a game and you banned Elsa, Widow, Hela, I think he could run the lobby. But unfortunately, because of the meta, he gets cooked. So I will put him as the best down here. But realistically, I think his potential's right here. You forgot Bucky. Bucky is not hit scan. Bucky has a projectile. It has a travel time. Iron Fist. Hot take. I think Iron Fist is pretty good. I think Iron Fist is actually not bad. I think he's got some sauce. I don't think he's like the best pick every game, but I think if you're good at Iron Fist, you could pick him every game and win, but it's considerably harder than playing something else. I think if you are a dedicated Iron Fist player and you're like, that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to be the Iron Fist player, you can make it work in literally any game. I think you can play it into dive. I think you can play it with dive. You can play it into poke. You can play it with poke. He works everywhere. And you know what? I used to not really like Iron Fist that much. Like, he used to be okay. I feel like he's kind of an honest hero. He feels pretty honest. The only thing that maybe is dishonest is his block behind you. But, like, I kind of get it. I get why it needs to be a thing. Oh, nice, Retro. That's awesome. Happy for you, dude. Okay. Next up is the man himself, Tony Stark. Actually, fun fact, somebody submitted in Flats Reacts Um, this Dashi was playing Rivals apparently for the first time the other day, and I thought about maybe watching it. And then I clicked on it and I saw he's playing Iron Man. I'm like, oh no, 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 no. Oh no, no, no. And you know what? That's probably so common. People come into Rivals and they want to play like the super famous, like cool characters like Iron Man, and then he's just fucking butt. Like he's so butt. But he probably works in those ranks, to be honest with you. But he's so butt. He's so bad. God, Iron Man is just cooked. Dude, honestly, why were they scared to just give him full gamma? They should have just gave him full gamma at the start of season 9. You know? Like, I know they were afraid, but like, why? Like, they broke everyone at the start of season 9. They should have just let everyone be broken. That was what they were doing anyways, you know? Unfortunate. Magic. Magic's just good every season. There's not much to really say about her. She's just strong almost all the time. I think she's better now because of the Hood team up. But we don't see her every game. She's not someone that people picks up every game and like runs the lobby with. I think if you bump into a good Magic player, they're going to do a lot. Good Magic players are few and far between. And loading into a game, you're like, who do I need to pick on DPS to win? Most players are not picking Magic. You have to be kind of a specialist to be really good at Magic and actually play her a lot. All right, Mr. F. Mr. F going right here in the F category. Sorry, guy. I know there was that guy who hit rank 1 on Mr. Fantastic, and he actually inspired a few people to pick it up after him. But he's just butt. Actually, hang on. I'm going to put him up 1 because there's actually 2 other people that I'm going to put down here, and I think there's 3 clear F tiers. I think he's definitely bad, though. I think he's really fucking bad. Sorry. I do think he's really bad. Not saying you can't get value on him. It's the same thing with Thor, right? Like, you can technically get value on Thor, but he sucks. Like, you have to do so much to get any value out of the guy. And if you're going to play triple tank, play Hood. Right? You play triple tank Hood. You play, like, Emma Thing Hood. Or you play, like, Groot Thing Hood. Or like, Groot Mag Hood or something like that, you know? He now has a slot that's being taken by someone else. And it's just kind of... Okay, next up, Moon Knight. Yeah, Moon Knight pretty bad. Moon Knight, fun fact, last season had the worst win rate in the game. And it wasn't close. Like, he was like in the 30s. He had Widow levels of win rate. Widow levels of win rate. Absolute butt cheeks. I'm talking stinky farts. Stinky fart from a butt. He's still not good. Even into triple tank right now. Triple tank is strong. Not playing that guy. Doesn't bring anything. Ult doesn't do shit. There's no reason to pick him. Namor. I think Namor's solid. I think he's solid, but I don't think he brings a whole lot right now. Dive's not strong. So, like, I guess, like, those rare games you're going to play against Black Cat and Daredevil, sure. Play Namor. But those are very few and far between. Otherwise, there's almost no reason to bring him. Phoenix. So, Phoenix is interesting because Phoenix is much better now after they buffed her, but I don't think she's quite as powerful as she was before. I think she takes way more effort to work, and I also don't think there's anything you're really countering other than Hood ult. Like, her ult isn't as scary anymore to, like, get kills, and Rocket's not meta. So other than killing Hood ult, I don't really know what else you would do, to be honest with you. I don't think she's like bad. I think she's still pretty damn good. But regardless. Psylocke. Hot take, I don't think Psylocke's good right now. I don't think Psylocke's good at all. I think Psylocke is actually below mid. I think Psylocke's ult is pretty strong, but other than that, like, you're not really playing a whole lot of dive. And yeah, she just doesn't bring much. Like, think about it. Her whole shtick is I have a 2-second stealth that to go into backlines. I have a 2-second stealth that I can pop endless, like back to back, as long as I got money. Scarlet Witch. Buffs didn't really help. To be honest. Didn't really do much. Psylocke is not C. She needs more nerfs. Sure, man. Which is just kind of bad. There's just no reason to play her. Her ult's still butt, other than unless you're playing like with people who like can't play the game. And even the enhanced version was strange, like better, but yeah, she just doesn't got it. Yo, hello? Dude, on the YouTube side, Nut Button with a $69 dono. Hey, appreciate you a ton. Yo, can we get a W Nut on the YouTube side? Appreciate you. Sorry, I have alerts off just so I can get my way through this. W Nut. Next up, Spider-Man. Hot take, I don't think Spider-Man's good right now. I think Spider-Man's pretty bad. Only thing that guy brings valuable right now is being annoying and pulling tanks off the map. I don't think there's a reason to really play him. He's a pull merchant. That's all I got on him. There's not much else. Flats has a grudge. Against what? I'm just saying that's literally all he does right now. He pulls people off. He pulls tanks off the map, and then you annoy your backline, force them to use cooldowns, and then that's it. But like, he can't come back fast enough. So it's like, yeah, the supports will use cooldowns at inopportune times, but he can't actually get the kills. Like, he just makes it so that the supports can't use their cooldowns to save somebody else. They have to use it to save themselves. Texting 21 months per ship. Squirrel Girl. Oh, they got a party going on down here. They got a party going on down here in this F tier right now. They got a fucking party. The 4 horsemen of DPS. Best in slot. How about worst in slot? And it's just fucking these 4. And it's not even close. They're all just so bad. Moon Knight's the only one that really has potential to maybe move up right now, though. Like, the rest of these 3 are just one below all, honestly. It's so bad. Star-Lord. Hot take, Star-Lord fell off a little bit. I think even B tier might be too high. I think Star-Lord fell off. I think he fell off a cliff. He fell off a cliff and hit every rock on the way down. I don't even know if it's because they removed the 25 HP from his role. It might have been. But I think the real big one is his team up with Rocket. Is it with Rocket, the res one? Man, that thing kind of sucks because like you put it down and then you go run in, and then if you die like as you're putting it down, you die and then you get res 2 feet away. Oh, it's Adams. It's Adam. Sorry. And you can't not res. And so like if you die in front of someone, right, and you just put the res down, you just start resing in front of them and then you just die again. And it's like, man, that feels pretty bad. That one feels pretty bad. Anyways, Storm. I think Storm is exceptionally good. I think if more people learned how to play Storm, she would be dominating. I think Storm is exceptionally good. The only thing that's keeping Storm from going even crazier is the fact that like some of the hit scans are obviously very good into her. Really fucking good. I think people are starting to figure it out too, and able to utilize her a bit better. Her ult is bad. I mean, her ult I think is more for forcing support ults out than actually getting kills. That said, though, her neutral is exceptionally good, especially when she has the hit scan team up, like the Thor one. I think she's being slept on like crazy. I think by most people. I think high rank players have figured it out, but I think across most ranks she's slept on. Punny. I think Punny's okay, but I think he's fallen off quite a bit. I think you can get away with playing Punisher. He had a horrendous win rate. Horrendous. When the stats came out. But I also think Mag being literally the best tank in the game is probably not doing him any favors. I think Rocket kind of getting nerfed really hard ain't doing that guy any favors, because he's lost like the enhanced version of the infinite ammo because Rocket's not getting played. And then if Rocket was getting played, like the further you walk away from the ult, you're not getting the damage boost, which was kind of important, right? So it's like, you know, you don't really have the ability to sit there and just like pump the damage as much. He's really only used for breaking spawn holds at the moment, spawn holds with Storm. So, all right, on to Bucky. This guy's fucking insane. Bucky just fucking took some roids or something this season. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden that guy is just Thanos. I don't even really know what changed. Like, I genuinely don't know what changed between last season and this season to make the guy Thanos, but all of a sudden he's actually destroying 425 HP tank. I mean, it could be that. It's bad. Bucky's never been bad. Oh, it wasn't bad, but he wasn't like destroying like he is now. Like, you get picked. He gets picked every game. He gets picked every game now and is destroying. He's insanely good. Wolve. So Wolve got buffed this season. I actually think Wolve is slept on. I think Wolve is better than people realize, especially with triple tank being played a lot. The only thing he's like not that great into is thing, I guess, technically, but like they kind of trade each other. But if your Wolve just gets like one kidnap, that's infinitely valuable. So he's really, really good. I would say Wolve is slept on too much. Okay, so go to best in slot. This might come as a surprise to you, but it's actually, yeah, no, it's no surprise to anybody. It's still Elsa. Elsa's permabanned. The only one I would potentially put is Black Cat. You know what? I'm actually going to do a double. I'm going to do two. I'm going to put both of them because they're both permabanned in every game. I think they're two sides of the same coin. This is like runs your backline as dive. This runs your whole team down. And I think particularly with these two, if you leave them unbanned, your game comes down to who has the better Elsa or who has the better Black Cat, and that's kind of fucking boring. You know, unless that's your duo and you know they're insane, you basically coin flip the game. You know, is what it is. All right, on to support. Adam. So Adam depends what rank you're at. If you're at the highest ranks in the game, he's actually probably about A. If you're everybody else, he's probably closer to maybe D. So I'm going to call it even. I'm going to put him in B. And the reason why that is you really only play him in triple support. Never play him outside of triple support. It's not worth it. That said, though, when you do have the triple support with Adam, he is very powerful. He is really strong. But that is the only time he can be played. He is the only time he can be played. So it's situational, but his potential is very high. Cloak and Dagger, I'm just gonna rip it. Throwing that in the S tier. The Hood team up is disgusting. Gets played every game. If you have Cloak and Dagger with the enhanced Hood, whoo, that shit's no joke. Especially you ban Mag. What are you doing? What are you doing? What in the fuck are you doing? You're dead. If you load into a game and they have Hood and Cloak and Dagger and you don't, you better have something else. You must have something good. You might be done. It might be GG's at the spawn room. Support pool. Let's be honest. It's been many seasons of people coping. Let's stop coping. The guy is not good. He is butt. It is a stat farmer, and not even a good one at that. He is a stat farmer. His only valuable contribution is in overtime. You can pick some tank pool, you have less than a minute, and he will have ult before anyone else in the game has ult, and you can try to walk them down quickly. That doesn't work 80% of the time. He is not good. And every season, there's fucking propaganda about how this guy is good. And then the stats come out, and he always has a shit win rate. And then we play a game, and with my eyes, I can do the sniff test, and he's not good. He's bad. I'm sorry. It's the truth. That's how it works. Maybe in triple support, he might be decent. But if I'm playing triple support, I want an Adam or I want an Ultron. Every time. Gambit. So Gambit is still easily S tier, but he actually is no longer in permaban jail. Actually, people, if they have someone hovering Gambit, are now willing to let Gambit be played. And when Gambit is available, I can proudly and happily say it doesn't come down to who has the better Gambit. However, 80% of games come down to, oh, they have a Gambit and we don't. GG's. Not impossible, but pretty fucking bad. Because why? Your DPS and tanks save their ults up to have a big fight, and then they press one button, and their support ult, one support ult, is stronger than your support ults, and your DPS ults, and your tank ults, and you get run down. That said, though, if both teams have Gambits, it kind of just becomes a normal game where everyone has the potential to carry and to do well. So Gambit's interesting. I think he's actually no longer in permaban jail, but he's still banned quite often. Invis. I think Invis is acceptable, but not quite at the level as everyone else. The thing that makes Invis so good is her ults cage. So basically, you jump on the enemy team, you cage somebody, you kill them. The only thing that I would say that keeps Invis in that area is that. Plus, she has pretty good survivability. Holy shit. Yo, Nut Button, thank you the Big 10 gifted. Yo, can we get a W Nut for Nut Button? Yo, W Nut, appreciate you with a Big 10 gifted. Much love, dude. I think there's a real argument that she could be a tier lower, but I am not going to put her there because I think she's still very good. Jeffy. The little land shark. He technically has utility. But I think he's actually about the same tier as Deadpool right now. He's really bad. The only thing he's good at is speeding a team in with the bubbles. His ult has not power scaled up with the rest of the support roster. His healing is not caught up with the rest of the roster. His DPS is not caught up with the rest of the roster. And his team-ups almost make no sense. The Venom one wasn't bad, and then they nerfed it. And the Deadpool one is just fucking useless. Other than if you're like the Rage Bait Jeff guy. I used to see a lot of his stuff. He used to use that and just run around them. If you want to Rage Bait people, that's basically it. The little land shark needs a lot. He's not good. Jubilee. Okay, I think a lot of people may be ecstatic to hear. I actually think Jubilee after the buffs is fantastic. So right now we're playing in a hard poke, hard spam meta, where we're almost either always triple tank or double tank. Jubilee is very good at pumping numbers, similar to Deadpool. However, she actually has a much more useful ult, and she also can do two things at once. She can be doing AoE healing on the enemy, as well as AoE healing on herself and her backline. And then also, the enhanced hood team up allows her to just constantly have the hit scan form. Never mind the blind / vulnerability. So she has extra utility that's being taken advantage of in these big brawl fights. I think she's much better now. The team up buff was real. Yes, I agree. But also they did buff her normal damage. I think they gave her +1 healing, +1 damage to every bullet, every shot she makes. The problem was never her explosion of her orbs or her orb in general. It was always just like in the neutral. She just didn't have. Oh, it's +2 to healing. Holy shit. But yeah, with the team up enhanced version, Hood gets played a lot if he's not banned. I think she actually works really well. I think she works really well as like a second support. And I'll get who she works with well in a second. Loki. Loki depends on what rank you're in again. If you're playing at the really high ranks, like the top 500 ranks, you're playing Loki almost every game because Loki basically is just using a second support ult. You get a second Cloak and Dagger ult, you get a second Gambit ult, whatever. For everyone else, I feel like people probably sleep on him a little bit. I know he got a buff to his missiles, like they go slightly faster. But overall, though, I think that The only thing that keeps Loki for me coming up here is that most games people don't play him because he's a little bit difficult to fit in. Or sorry, he's not difficult to fit in. He's difficult when you don't have Gambit Cloak or you don't run triple. Like triple, Loki's great. You have Gambit or Cloak, great. If you don't have those two, you're suffering a little bit. So that's why I can't quite put him all the way up there. Luna. I think Luna's very good. I don't know if I would say she's as good as Cloak or Gambits right now, but very solid. I think the only thing that's kept Luna from going back up to the next level is genuinely just Cloak got power crept, and I think Gambit's being played more. So because Gambit's around, if Gambit's around, Loki's getting played. If Cloak's around, you probably actually want Jubilee because you're just fucking pumping heals at that point if you're not going to play Loki. But like Luna Jubilee is like not bad. I think Luna into certain comps, like hell, if you're playing in a Strange or Thing, it's actually pretty decent because like you just cleanse the ults off yourself. She's still exceptionally good. Like exceptionally good. The only difference, I wouldn't say she got worse. I just think these ones got better. / Gambit got unlocked. That's all. Mantis. So Mantis is also again like exceptional. Triple support, exceptional. Getting banned in a lot of games. Not perma, but getting banned in a lot of games. I think if you're not in the really high ranks, you're going to be a little bit strapped for heals because not everyone's used to playing with Mantis. But if you have one really good DPS player on your team and you're like, yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to damage boost that guy consistently. You will win so many games. You will win so many games. Okay, Rocket. I think Rocket fell off a little bit. I don't think he's unplayable, though. I think he's still really good. I think that the res beacon's always valuable. I think his ult's still okay. Like, obviously, the fall-off range thing sucks. He's solid for ranked, especially on control. Just being able to have that respawn. But yeah, unless you're playing on control, like I really wouldn't recommend playing Rocket at all. But when you do play Rocket on those points, he can feel pretty strong because you just basically just hide in a corner and go run away and hide. Ultron. Again, Ultron depends on what rank you're playing in. So I'm going to put him here in B as well because for 99% of the player base or 98% of the player base, he's not really that useful. However, if you're playing in top 500 or in the really high ranks or pro play, he's basically permaban the entire time or perma played because they're playing triple support, Adam, Ultron, and then either like Cloak or Invis or whatever the fuck they're running, right? But for everyone else, he struggles because they don't want to play triple support. They want to play 2 support, and he does not fit into support very well. So I put him here as like this is for the everyone. You know, these guys have exceptionally high highs when they're played correctly and in the right spots, but everywhere else, they're not good. Last but not least, White Fox. I don't think the White Fox buffs did anything. I think that she's maybe slightly better than she was last season. Slightly. But other than that, dive isn't getting played, so you don't need the counter dive. Her healing is not kept up with the rest of the roster. You will lose most of your games if you play White Fox. And I've lost most of my games with White Fox on my team. And especially the stubborn ones. I don't know what it is. No offense. White Fox players are fucking stubborn. I don't know why, because she's like one of the more technical, skillful supports that they've added. So people feel inferior to having someone play Invis or Luna or Jubilee or something like that. They don't fucking swap. They never fucking swap. I don't know what it is. White Fox players have bigger egos than some DPS players or most DPS players. They don't fucking swap. I don't know what it is, and it pisses me off. Regardless, though, when a dive meta comes back, maybe she'll be better, but I also think she just doesn't keep up with the rest of the roster. There you go, though. That is all of your supports. Now for best in slot. I think across all ranks, it's still Gambit. However, at the highest rank, it becomes Mantis. But I'm not putting both. The only reason why I put 2 DPS is because these two are the same sides of the same coin. For most of the player base, Mantis is not broken because they don't play her in double support because they don't think she has enough healing, and they're not using the damage boost properly. Gambit can be played as a normal healer. You can just sit there and heal, and then you press your funny Q button and your team runs them over. You can do this anywhere. Most players can't do this anywhere. This works everywhere. Highest level, metal ranks, doesn't matter. Mantis, exceptionally powerful at the highest ranks. Gets worse as you go, the lower you go. Cloak, super good. Gambit and Cloak, no. Cloak is not. I would say Gambit is still better than Cloak. The only thing I would say is if you are playing Cloak, it's because you're playing Hood Cloak. And then at that point, why don't you just play Gambit Hood Cloak? At that point, why not just do that? So, anyways, that's your list. That's your season 9.5 tier list. Get your bitch ass back to the beginning. I know you skipped at the end. You're going to miss everything because you're going to be like, why is Adam and B? I talked about it. It's a complex topic. Get back there. I see you. Shoo. Anyways, that's your list.